got it. We are live. That's what Zoom tells us. And it's loading on Facebook. So we are going to just set that up and just see. Yes, so we are live. Good evening. You know, by now I'm from India. I'm sure I've said it so many times, 100 interviews, more interviews, many times. But I still have to tell many new people who are joining a circle and getting to know about all of us as moms that I'm joining in from India. It's 7:30 p.m. in the evening, and I'm speaking to Laura. I don't know what time it is, Laura, for you there.
9 in the morning.
9 in the morning. So, as I always say that moms and people who live their stories always tell their stories much better than I can tell reading a paper, what it has been, how it has been, where they have been, what's it's all about. So I would give the stage to Laura and invite more moms. I'll be tagging on the side some moms and replying to some chats that are coming in. Laura, please introduce yourself. It's an honor to know you. As I mentioned, that I love the bright light that you bring. I mean, anytime and every time I've met you, I've just see a lot of brightness, and I would love to know more about you. Also, that I have had the privilege of, taking her visual photo shoot, virtual photo shoot, and I must say that not easy to impress another photographer. A photographer hiring another photographer is not very easy to impress, but she did a fab job and she reminded me of me the way I do shoots. So it's very amazing to bring her as a guest here, as a mom this time. So Laura, the stage is yours, and let people know where are you from, what are you doing, and then we'll take the conversation ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. And I have to say, your photo shoot was one of my favorites. There's so much joy in those photos and light, and it just warms my heart every time I look at those pictures. So thank you.
Thank you for doing that for us.
And yes, my name is Laura Harstad. I am a virtual branding photographer. So I do virtual photo shoots for entrepreneurs, but this is about moms, and I am a mom even above my business. That's so important to me. I became a mom just 5 years ago when our oldest son joined our family from China. And a couple years after that, our youngest son joined our family from China. So I still feel like I'm kind of a new mom, but I already have a teenager and another teenager on the way. So it's the fast track of parenting. So I've learned a lot in a short amount of time. So that's just a little bit about me. I'm in Minnesota and I grew up here, but my husband and I have lived in other places. We've lived in China, we've lived in Vietnam, and multiple locations in the United States. So I think I moved about 12 times, but we ended up settling back in Minnesota to be near our family. And I'm so glad we did. And it's just such a blessing to be where we're at right now.
Yeah, and what are the names of your both the boys? I just see them so actively on your Facebook. What are their names?
Leo and Samuel.
Yeah, and I see. And having a photographer mom is a beautiful thing anyway, because your posts can't go off. So have you been a photographer all your life, or is it something that you picked up recently, or what is it that attracted you to such a beautiful profession? Because I'm part of it. I'm part of it for 23 years. Wow. And what made you become a photographer? And how long back did you start this?
Yeah, and I've also been a photographer for decades, but just kind of as a side hobby. It's something I've always loved. And I think I got into it because I actually don't have the greatest memory. And so taking pictures was my way of capturing special moments in life. And I just soak those up. I try to capture as many moments as possible because that's really important to me. So I remember life when I go back and look at those photos. And that's just such a special thing for me.
I like that you said that I don't have a good memory. Neither do I. So maybe I never digged in what's my why of doing photography. Maybe it was that. I just think I fell into the lab of photography very early at the age of 18 and just never looked back. And but yeah, maybe I'm very excited about just capturing and creating memories for people, for myself. And it's just once you take this path, it just opens up so much. And that's what my recent work has been, to bring it. I've done a couple of visual break challenges, that how photography can be meditative and it can just released so much. I'm of course doing self-portrait workshops with people, to now even taking to another level of how photography can free you and how you can live freely by using photography of yourself. And of course, the book called 100 Self-Portrait, 100 Dreams, of 100 mothers declaring their stories through self-portraits. So photography can just go on and on and on and on and on and create so much joy. Um, so how come, what, like I was so fascinated being a photographer when I came to know about uh the the virtual photo shoot. Like, how did you step into that and how did that happen? And I just love your work. Nobody can believe that. When I share those pictures also of what you did for my family, and believe me, I've never got my family formally photographed except by my student, Gia, and who I taught photography. Usually I'm always behind the camera, taking the charge. So, uh, I was very fascinated that somebody sitting 12 hours, span difference in our time zones, is taking pictures, and then they're turning out beautifully. So what made you step into that? So I'm just like curious about that.
There's just a sense of magic around that, isn't there?
Isn't
I
it?
love that, I can help capture moments for other people across the world. That's
Yeah.
something that I never knew would be possible. And so, yeah, I became an entrepreneur just a few years ago now, but I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. And we homeschool our kids. And so I had to figure out a business I could do from home. And photography wasn't immediately that option for me because I was always thinking, well, I might need to go out and do photo shoots, and that doesn't work with a homeschool schedule
Right.
because they're always here. And so I didn't jump into photography full time right away. I tried a bunch of different things as an entrepreneur. But then last year, just something shifted. I was looking for something because what I had tried before wasn't quite working. It's just a long story. When you're an entrepreneur, you go through so many adventures. I'll just say that. But my brain, I just suddenly told myself, you know what? I am going to be a full-time photographer no matter what. I am going to make this work. I've always loved it. I have to do this. And I think when you make a decision, the next best step is to actually declare it and say it to somebody. So I told one of my friends, Samina Gupta, who ended up becoming my business coach. And when she heard that, she said, oh, you should check out this person on Instagram. She has a virtual studio. It's like, wait a second, I can do this virtually? And all the puzzle pieces fell into place. And I immediately knew this would be, I don't know what you call like the zone of genius for me, something that I can do and do well and absolutely love. And so from then on, I just started doing virtual photography, and I started with headshots, figured it all out, because it was a new thing for me too, to do it virtually. And I immediately knew this is it. I can help entrepreneurs get amazing photos. And I deliberately chose to work with entrepreneurs because becoming one myself, I love the spirit and energy of people in that world. I absolutely love it. There's just something special about it. People who are just kind of forging a completely new path, doing something that's kind of scary and takes a lot of courage, and making a big, big difference in the world. So I wanted to help them. I wanted to help entrepreneurs, and I knew great photos do make a difference for a business. And so it all kind of came together in a really quick week where I realized I can do virtual photography. I'm going to do photos shoots for entrepreneurs, and they can be anywhere in the world. And it just grew from there. And I absolutely love this business. And now I do half-day branding photo shoots where, they get all the pictures that they need for their business. Lots and lots of variety for that.
That's why, when like here I was, I think maybe there was a search for doing something virtually for many people, and then I created self-portrait as a medium to do it, because I was like, let me empower you well to do it yourself. And I never knew. And then of course, how universe sends somebody like you, and then I was in awe of the fact that wow, you did it virtually. And then I also mentioned it to you that we do something together, because it just excites me what can be done with stuff like that. And just your work is very, very beautiful, and I vouch for it myself. And I just feel that, once you can do this virtually and get to know people across the world, their places, so many things open up for you. So that's about what Laura does as an entrepreneur, as a photographer. But let's talk about Laura the mom. So because this is all about mom vibes. So what's the journey as a mom? How did you decide to bring your boys from China to your life? And how the journey has been. Let's hear that, because that's a very inspiring story in itself. Taking charge of two boys and then making them yours. It's a journey itself. So let's hear about that.
Yeah, and that is quite a journey. That could probably be an hours, days long conversation.
I'm all about moms,
But
I'm all about moms, but
here's the nugget. Yeah, I had mentioned my husband and I had lived in China. And so that, I mean, we really consider it our second home. We really love like all the friends that we made there. We just had an amazing experience. We were teaching there. So that was back in 2007, right before they hosted the Olympics. And it was just an incredible experience. And we learned so much living there and teaching there. And so fast forward to many, many years later, when we were talking about adopting, that was a natural connection for us, because we know how important it is for kids who are adopted to just keep their birth culture and experience and, combine that with a new family as well. It's not dismissed or, hidden, it's connected and brought in. And so having lived in China, we felt like we had learned a lot about the culture and could incorporate that and bring that into our family, because now we are a Chinese American family and we celebrate the Chinese holidays. We're learning how to cook a lot of Chinese food, and that's who we are, and that was so important to us. So I think that's why there was a natural connection. And both of our boys happened to be 9 years old when they joined our family. And I think for us, we just know that out of the children who need families in the world, the older they get, the less likely they are to have a family bring them into their home, because I think it gets more complicated, but it's been an incredible journey. And I mean, I know moms are proud of their kids, but I am just so, so, so proud of our kids. And I'm just going to smile like the whole time talking about them, because the things that they're accomplishing and learning, and I've moved to a different country, so I know what it feels like, but I was an adult, and going somewhere where you don't speak the language and everything is new, it's so much to take in. And that's what they did. They came here, they had to learn a new language and get used to some new foods like spaghetti, just odd things. And they are just amazing, amazing kids who are going to do incredible things in this world. I can just tell.
I can just feel it from what you're saying. And, as you just mentioned, as they keep growing, they also bring so much with them. And that's why it's a difficult thing to adjust immediately, because they've already had 9 years of what they've seen.
Yeah.
And they have a certain opinion about it. But when love enters your life, no matter in what way, everything just starts falling in place, right? So I just think that your love is bringing them, and we can see them. I can see them on Facebook thriving, and I can see them absolutely, and bringing two boys rather than adopting one. That itself is yet another courageous step that you've taken, that you brought two of them together. And I'm sure that you will inspire many. So you must, keep continuing your positive posts around them and being a mom, because we need this kind of inspiration. We need this kind of, insight in what it is to bring people in your life as yours and make them yours forever. So I'm so proud of the fact that you're so proud of them, and you already know what they're going to do. So we're going to see their journey unfold, because now we're in the in the orbit of moms, and you're here for a long time. I know that, Laura. So I'm very, very happy to have you here as a mom as well, not only as a photographer. So for me, it's a double bonus. It's just looking at you as a mom because I'm all about moms, and then also a photographer of a caliber and love that I haven't witnessed in 24 years of my career. So I just love what you do, and I would love more people to come and join in and see it. Maybe today but they all see the replays. Usually people do join in. Maybe the time today is such. Some people are waking up, some people are settling down. But Laura, what's your dream? What's the dream that you want to bring to the world? Like, what if I ask you, what is your dream? What is your dream?
Well, I would say what guides the decisions that I make is joy. That's my word. And it becoming an entrepreneur was to add more joy to our family, to have that freedom and flexibility so that I could support my kids in whatever they wanted to pursue, because I want to open up as many opportunities for them as I can so that they can have the journey that works, that can make them successful, and not have doors closed just because, maybe I was at a 9 to 5 and couldn't take them places, but I can take them places. I can take them to experiences. I have a flexible schedule now because I'm an entrepreneur. And so it's really just everything we do is to add more joy. It's setting up our family schedule for homeschool coming up. We start next week and I'm looking at what can we do and the field trips that we can take. And I know that learning for them, I am their teacher and I know how they learn and can individualize that instruction for them and just make learning fun and something that they like. So it's just that. And I found virtual photography, which brings me so much joy. And my goal through my photo shoots is to share joy with other people. And so it's just this radiating joy that I'm hoping to spread out from our family into the world, because I see so many people that really struggle to have that emotion and that experience in their life, but it's not impossible. It takes some focus and effort, but you can absolutely have more joy in your life. And it's to be intentional about it and start with little things and it'll grow into bigger things. And in the end, you can make some pretty big decisions, which create this incredible life of joy.
Yeah, I was just tagging Michelle. She's starting a challenge for joy, a challenge on joy. So she has done a self-portrait workshop with me, and I really, really adore her. So I was just tagging her to check out this interview. Maybe you guys can connect. And Michelle is she's all about joy, and she's doing
Perfect
challenge on joy. And I must say that every part of whatever shows on social media about you only looks joyous. It only looks full of life. It only looks full of light. And I'm very, very fond of you, Laura, and I see you with a lot of fondness when I see your stuff. But because you've chosen, and you, like we were just talking before, you were saying that when you decide, things open up, and you decide things, happen, and you've decided joy, and that's what's going to come out. So it's very important to decide what we want, and then we just keep creating that, and we just keep grabbing that from everywhere else. And because your word is joy, nothing else will happen but joy. And because your word is joy, nothing else will spread except joy. So thank you for choosing that word and bringing joy to the world, because that's yet again a common thing between us. Is when I was very young, I decided I don't ever want to take serious pictures of people. I was a portrait photographer, but I always wanted to bring happiness to people. I wanted to get that through my work. I wanted people to look at the pictures and say, what a beautiful life I have. I had decided that very early. Though when I was studying photography, I had a talent of taking very, very serious pictures, and I have done. But I just keep like a firefly, I don't know what, keeps getting attracted to the light. I just keep getting attracted to the light. And, we were talking one day and I was telling you that I heard the word light gatherer, and I so wanted to steal that word, but I was like, okay, I won't steal it, but I'm totally a light gatherer. I just love light in reality and light in people and bringing light to them. And that's what you love. And that's why this connection happened. And I'm very glad that it did. So, and anything else would like to say before we sign off from here, Laura? This is just a beginning. We'll do many things together. You know.
Yes, I know. I'm so glad to meet you. And I just wanted to give a shout out. Our mutual friend Debbie introduced us because she hosted a masterclass with you about capturing light. And I attended and I was like, this person is saying exactly what I feel in my heart. And so it was from that moment on that I knew we would stay connected and just help share light in the world. So I'm just so grateful for Debbie to have hosted you and that we got to meet each other through that. It was just, I learned so much from that. And I love your self-portrait classes, and all of your photos just have such beautiful light in them. So I'm a fan of yours too.
Mutual Admiration Society, but I remember sitting you in that workshop, and I could see you nodding and resonating with what we were discussing. So I did see that, and there's Debbie is a connecting point for many things in this project and in many people's lives. I think her purpose in life is that missing link that happens. She just keeps linking people up, and she just keeps bringing people down. So definitely a shout out for her for being that, and she does it consistently with a lot of love, and she keeps bringing more and more people to a forward place where light can shine on them and more people can see that. So definitely a shout out for Debbie. And we will sign off, because we should sign off not making it more than 30 minutes or less interview, so that more people can watch it, because I can talk to you for hours, and I can anyway talk to moms for hours and hours about how their journey is. One message for moms who would like to adopt children, because we have all kinds of moms and all kinds of shades, and they still are thinking and contemplating and thinking whether it's for them or not. What is that one message would you like to share for them, Laura?
I would say, open your heart to kids in need in any way. If you could, but I think most important is help moms who are in need. There's so many moms who are in need, and if they just got the help that they needed, their family could stay together. So start there and help the moms so that the kids can stay with them, because that is the most important thing.
Oh, yes.
And if that isn't possible, then help the kids. And it's, you can do that in a lot of different ways. I would be happy to talk about that more off of this conversation, but there's a lot of need out there, and there are a lot of incredible organizations that are doing this and helping families. And the one that I support through my business and personally is Love Without Boundaries. And they are helping families in countries around the world. And so look for those organizations, look for those moms, and you can make a huge difference just supporting them in that way.
Oh, I would love to know more about that organization. So do send me a link on that.
Okay. Yeah.
So we will sign off as a beginning with Laura today. Usually I get a lot of people, but I think they all are coming. Lucy messaged me personally saying, I'm on tennis, I'll see a replay. We will be tagging Laura. Many people have to hear your voice, and I shall be back soon with you doing many things which are waiting that we're going to discuss. So lots of love, and thank you for coming, Laura.
Thank you so much.